Well, he played the superhero in Hercules and the atheist professor in God's Not Dead. Kevin Sorbo has performed in more than 40 movies and TV shows. Well, there's something called Miracle in East Texas is the name of Kevin's latest movie. He produces, directs, and stars in the film, along with his lovely wife, Sam. Take a look.
Kevin and Sam Sorbo have made a huge mark on the faith-based movie genre, writing, directing, and acting in numerous projects. Their latest movie is Miracle in East Texas.
So this is Texas.
Very flat.
I just believe the hand of Providence has been guiding our every step. We're going to hit oil right here. Amen.
Amen.
Well, welcome to the 700 Club, our dear friend Kevin Sorbo. Kevin, that movie, is that Dan Joyner and the East Texas feel? Is that what you all are talking about?
You know, that movie it's based on a true story. It actually happened in 1930, where these two con men would roll those out and make oil well in Nebraska, and in Kilgore, Texas, they strike oil by accident. Ends up being the largest oil find in the history of the world. It was an amazing shoot. We shot up in Calgary. And people say, why do you have Calgary as Texas? Well, I go, well, if it's good enough for Clint Eastwood and Unforgiven and for them to shoot the Lonesome Dove series, it's good enough for me. It looked like Texas, trust me.
Well, it's been making the rounds of film festivals. Have you had a good response to the movie?
You know what? It's been amazing. We've been through 10 film festivals, and it's won everything from best romantic comedy, the best faith-based film, to everything in between. So I love the fact that they can't really put a genre on this, even though there certainly is a faith element to it. And it's a wonderful, heart-touching story. And we were hoping to have it out in theaters this summer, but of course, with COVID, everything's been shut down. So we've pushed it a little bit, and the date is still pending, but we hope to get it on the next few for sure. But it's a wonderful film, and John Ratzenberger's in it, Lou Gossett Jr. is in it. Yeah. My wife Sam did an amazing job in it, and Dan Gordon was the writer who did an incredible job. He's an amazing writer. He wrote The Hurricane for Denzel Washington. He was also the showrunner in Highwood Heaven for Michael Landon. He wrote 60 of those episodes.
Well, fantastic. Well, in your own life, you had a miraculous recovery. You had 3 strokes that nearly left you blind and paralyzed, and your wife, Sam, stood by you through it all. She should have walked out, but she didn't. She nursed you to health. Tell us about that.
Well, that was 4 months before we even got married. I was having all kinds of problems with my shoulder and couldn't quite figure out what was going on with it. My left arm was numb and cold. And when they finally found a lump up in here, they were going to do a biopsy. But before they could do that, I went to see my chiropractor. And in 8 years of seeing him, he's never cracked my neck. And a voice inside my head said, don't let him crack your neck. Well, he cracked my neck. That lump ended up being an aneurysm that had been spitting blood clots. That violent twist this way forced 4 clots into my brain. One went to speech, but that dissolved on the way to the hospital, thank God. But it was the next 4 months learning how to walk again, learning how to balance again, working on my vision again. Took 3 years to fully recover, and I do have the book right here. It's called True Strength, My Journey from Hercules to Mere Mortal and How Nearly Dying Saved My Life. And people can go to kevinsorbo.net if they want an autographed copy of that. But Sam and I, quick plug, we just wrote a book together called True Faith. So I hope people check that out as well. Because I'll tell you, when this happened to me, and I heard the story you're talking about earlier about the woman who's in the car accident, questioning, God and everything. I went through those same things. And the reality is I've had faith my whole life. I've been a Christian my entire life. But even though I had faith, it was the first time I really needed faith to help fight through this. And that was God's voice in me warning me not to let that gentleman crack my neck. And I didn't listen to it. So next time, I think you got to listen to that voice.
Hey, where can they get True Faith? Is that available now in bookstores?
True Faith is available right now. They can go online and pick that up. And once again, they can go to kevinsorbo.net or samsorbo.com to pick up an autographed copy as well. And I just want to throw out real quick, I'll see you up in Washington, D.C. My wife and I will be speaking at the return as well.
Wonderful. Well, listen, I want to thank you. You've done the audio version of my book, I Walk with the Living God. And well, what'd you think? You did a marvelous job of. It's in this. It's in the audio version. It's available. Okay.
I'll tell you what, I was very honored that you chose my voice to be in your book. And yes, I got to read every single word in that book. So what an amazing life. I mean, I certainly knew parts of your life from before, but you definitely opened up and told people the whole history of everything from growing up with your parents and in your college years to marriage, to the small start of CBN and the different things that happened that God led people to you to actually help fund and keep this little startup company going, because you know as well as anybody how difficult it is to get anything off the ground in terms of the entertainment and television world. So I found it very fascinating. I hope people do pick it up.
Well, I do too. And again, I wanted to tell folks that Kevin's version is called "I've Walked with the Living God," and it's an audio version you can get wherever they have books, I guess.
That was a long book.
It is, yeah.
Way to go.
You know, I'm glad you had some voice left, brother. That's enough to take all of your strength away. But anyhow, I'm looking forward to reading your book, True Faith. Sam is a fantastic lady. And you looked at her and you forgot your lines. You were doing one show and she was so beautiful you couldn't concentrate on what you were doing, right?
Oh, it's true. I'm very good at memorizing. I'm very much a professional. I hit my marks. I love being on the sets of television and movies. But the day that she worked with me, the very first day, I went up my lines. I looked at Michael Hurst, who was my sidekick, Aeolus, on the Hercules series, and I said, "Michael, help me here." He goes, "Buddy, you're on your own." So just kind of stuck there. But I got to throw something out here real quick that I want to make people be aware of, because everything is going on with all this crazy BLM and the Antifa guys and everything, that the violence and hate and anger. I've got a documentary that I narrated. It was produced by Kevin Jackson, and it's called Bleeding Blue. So I hope people go to bleedingbluemovie.com and pick it up and see what it's really like for police officers. This isn't some glorification of aren't police wonderful and great. Everybody has bad apples no matter what profession we do. But bleedingbluemovie.com is an amazing documentary and will give you a more honest foresight of what's going on from the police officer's point of view.
Well, Kevin, you're an amazing, the production that you have turned out is just awesome. And thanks for doing my book. And I hope that the Blue will have some...
True Faith, yes. We'll look forward to that, too.
Yeah, but I tell you, imagine somebody so beautiful on your set, you forget your lines, the next thing you get married to them. All right.
Smart man.
Amen. Thanks, Kevin. You're a great friend. God bless your brother.
And congrats on your 18th grandchild, by the way.
Thank you. Isn't that wonderful?
It is. They're a great couple.